Yeah, so if Gladio was the military layer of the system, then the next logical question is obvious. Who coordinated the political layer? Who shaped the courts, the media, the financial systems, and the narrative environment that civilians actually live inside? And so this is where the P2 enters. So remember, the Propaganda Due, what's commonly known as P2, was a Masonic lodge in Italy. Investigators discovered that P2's membership overlapped nearly every institution that mattered in the modern state. They had military leadership, intelligence services, judiciary, media executives, banking and finance, as well as connections to the Vatican. But P2 wasn't a government, and it didn't pass laws, didn't run elections. It was a network that sat across governments. And this is what people refer to as a deep state. It's a permanent government, a supranational organization that spans different aspects of government. Internally, if you're talking about just within one state, but also internationally, right? These networks also cross borders. Okay. P2 functioned as a coordination layer, a place where people embedded in different institutions could align strategy, share information, and shape outcomes without leaving fingerprints. And we know this because P2 was exposed through documents. One of the most important was something called the Plan for Democratic Rebirth. Plan for Democratic Rebirth was a document that proposed weakening Parliament, centralizing executive power, restructuring the judiciary, controlling major media outlets, neutralizing political opposition through narrative control and legal pressure. Let me just pause. I'm still talking about 1980s Italy. I was not talking about the United States. Does that sound familiar, though? I'll say those again. Weakening Parliament, which in our context would be Congress, just make Congress completely useless. Centralize executive power. That's exactly what's happening. I mean, you have the Department of Justice, the Attorney General, the FBI, all of these people that are supposed to be a secondary branch of power. They're all now sort of Trump's lackeys, and they're all part of expanding executive power, appointing judges that are going to be loyal to the executive's interests instead of a check and balance on his power. That's what's happening in the U.S., and that essentially what was happening during the P2 scandal. So it wasn't about overthrowing democracy overnight. It was about reshaping it slowly from the inside while preserving the appearance of normal governance. And P2 shows us that power doesn't always operate through coups and tanks. Sometimes it operates through appointments, through media ownership, judicial influence, financial leverage, and political blackmail. Who's the big blackmailer that we, 6 million documents? We have 3 million documents now. There's 6 million total, probably even more. But yeah, and when you place P2 next to Gladio, something becomes very clear. That Gladio created fear in the streets. Gladio was sort of the militaristic arm of this, and P2 managed fear in institutions.